So, in my last video, I did mention that I was going to make a separate video on the 7 Squares leak. Now, I say leak because I actually have reason to believe in this rather than some random rumor. And if you watch my channel, you'll know that I don't talk about rumors very often. I only talk about it when we have something to really discuss about it, such as when Vergeman was running rampant, early base roster, which is sort of the beginning of the 7 Squares list. So, to catch you all up on what the 7 Squares list is, it was originally a rumor in, I want to say, November of 2018, in which Vergeman said that he had a list of Square Enix characters that were discussed for the possible Fighters Pass 1 first DLC character. Obviously, that wasn't the first DLC character, but it seems that this list really is real. And the characters on this list, just to really show you how pretty honestly accurate this was, it had Erdrick, Luminary, Slime, Sephiroth, Crono, Geno, and Sora. Now, initially I sort of wrote this off because Sora is not Square Enix at all. The only person at Square Enix that really has any sort of say over Sora is Tetsuya Nomura. So that right there is what made me write it off. And then when I found out that Erdrick is a character in Dragon Quest that we've never seen, Erdrick isn't a character in Dragon Quest. The character that most people referred to as Erdrick during Smash speculation was actually Arusu. That also made me kind of go away from this rumor. But it does seem that it was pretty accurate, because 5 out of the 7 characters are in Smash. One of them being a Mii costume, the rest being actual characters, technically. Yep, Slime's Hero's Taunt, in case you forgot about that. But, yeah, it's... What really made me go back to this is Sephiroth. Sephiroth, as we all know, was the most recent DLC character, and he was announced 2 years after this list initially dropped. And initially, I didn't 100% go back and say this is for sure real, but the games journalist Imran Khan actually noted that Sephiroth has been in development since at least 2018. He could have been in development for a little or in negotiations, for a little bit longer, but Sephiroth has been in the ballpark since around base roster. So that means that this list, more than likely, was actually the negotiations. And it's kind of strange to think that 5 out of the 7 of these are in Smash in some way, and yet we're somehow supposed to believe that neither Crono nor Sora got in at all. The initial list said that Sora didn't make it very far in the negotiations, but I don't think that was actually the case. You see, in 2018, around the time that Ultimate launched, Reggie actually had a statement saying that they had never been denied a character for Smash. Now, that's probably not true, but for Smash Ultimate, I can see that actually being the case. And if that is the case, then the line about Sora not being brought up very far doesn't mean that he was dropped and rejected. That probably just means that Square Enix said that they weren't the ones to negotiate with. That probably means that they go to Disney to negotiate, which means if they did go to Disney to negotiate, then they did get Sora. Which brings in the whole Hashimoto situation that I've talked about nonstop. 3 videos, really. Or, no, it was 2, I think? But that's besides the point. That means that they really did get Sora, at the very least. But that's just an assumption that they did go to Disney, so we don't know for a fact that that is the case. But all of it sort of pushed together, and then what really intrigues me is Crono, because Chrono's the only other character on that list that isn't in Smash in some way. And Sakurai even retweeted like a Chrono Trigger stage a while back on Stage Builder. So Sakurai is well aware of Chrono Trigger, and it seems that the Chrono was negotiated for pretty heavily, at least according to the Seven Squares list. And that's really odd that Chrono was negotiated for the third most behind the Dragon Quest characters and Sephiroth, and he isn't even as a Mii costume. So that brings me a couple different scenarios that might have happened with Chrono. Either he did actually follow through and Reggie was lying about that, or he's in the second Fighter's Pass as well as Sephiroth, and the whole 2 square reps per pass thing can't happen is a complete fan rule that doesn't work actually. Or he's in a third hypothetical pass, because there are some reasons to believe a third pass is happening. And then the final reason is that Sora is getting in, but he has a Chrono Mii costume coming with him. Or if Chrono's just in a random Mii costume wave and not with Sephiroth, Sora, or whoever. So that's the big implications of the Seven Squares list. It's honestly mind-blowing that we can actually discuss this, and we have evidence for Crono and Sora. Like, these two are 2 characters to watch out for, in my opinion. Because we don't really have any other characters that we know for a fact were negotiated for. And these 2 were negotiated for. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this discussion. Please tell me in the comments if you think that this is just complete rumor, it doesn't really matter, or if you think that this is actually something we should look into and follow to its logical conclusion. So with that, that'll be the end of today's video, and have a good one.